Good morning, everyone. Today is Wednesday, February the 15th, 2023. This is a crazy story. This is a crazy story. Mm, yeah, we gonna get into this one. Um, I'm speechless. Grace of peace, Sister Tyra Rice. Yeah, you know, daily I'm constantly reading articles and just trying to keep up what's going on in the Christian world and trying to see what's just happening, amongst our faith, what news stories is out there, current events, etc. So I'm always reading those types of things. And when I first saw the title of this article, I don't know why, but I bypassed it for some reason. Scrolled past it at first. And then when I scrolled past it, I scrolled back up and I said, well, let me go ahead and read this one. This seems like a pretty interesting article, or the headline at least. So I thought that this uh-oh, he says no audio. Okay. Let me see. Test, 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 test. All right, listen, if anyone can hear me, because it seems like that everything is good on my end. Hold on one second. Hold on one second. Okay, you said my audio was good. I thought you said that my audio was. Hold on, let me see. I want to see if. Let me go ahead and mute this real quick. Yeah, Built for Speed. I think that was on your end because I just did a playback on YouTube and it sounded like everything was good. Uh, so you said that the audio was good. Now I think your headphones or something must have been, acting up. But anyway, this is a pretty weird situation, and I'm going to explain this as we get into this article. Anyway, this is from the ChristianPost.com. It says Planned Parenthood executive pastor sues abortion giant for racial, religious discrimination. I want you guys to keep that title in mind. All right. This says an ordained pastor and the first Black man on Planned Parenthood of Greater New York's executive leadership team recently filed a civil rights lawsuit accusing the organization of discrimination. I'm going to read that again. An ordained pastor and the first Black man on Planned Parenthood of Greater New York's executive leadership team recently filed a civil rights lawsuit accusing the organization of discrimination. That first line is what had me scratching my head, literally. You have an ordained pastor who was on the board of Greater New York's executive leadership team of Planned Parenthood. Let's just continue to read this. The lawsuit filed last week in the U.S. District Court for Southern District of New York by Samuel Carlos Mitchell Jr. alleged that the plaintiff had been subjected to a quote-unquote campaign of discrimination since he was hired as an interim chief operating officer in September 2021. He later moved into a permanent COO role in April 2022. The defendants listed in the lawsuit are PPGNY and several women who hold executive or board member positions: Wendy Stark, Andrea Hagan, and Ann Davis, and Jillian Dean. or Gillian. I think that's Gillian. According to the complaint, PPGNY required Mitchell to, quote, endure a disproportionate number of background checks due to his age, race, color, disability, and gender, end quote. Quote, in fact, PPGNY required plaintiff to undergo a disproportionate number of background checks, which is so far above what younger Caucasian and non-disabled prospective employees go through as to be clearly discriminatory and harassing, he claimed. My question is this: what the heck did you expect from Planned Parenthood? This is so laughable, but it's sad. Planned Parenthood, which has been known for being discriminatory against Black people by selectively putting a lot of their clinics in Black neighborhoods to what it seems intentionally reduce the numbers of Black people, which it has successfully done over the years. You thought that that organization was going to treat you as a Black male any different for the people that is trying to reduce the numbers of? I, let's continue because I got quite a bit to say. And this, I think this article is a, I don't think it's that lengthy, but I don't want to go down a rabbit hole just yet. In October 2021, Mitchell claimed that after Hagen, the organization's board treasurer, discovered the CEO was an ordained pastor, several board members insinuated that Christians and religious leaders, quote, were not welcome to work for PPGNY, end quote. And I would say I would have to agree. I would have to agree with Planned Parenthood with this right now. Yes, you guys go ahead and hit that like button. Okay. After the plaintiff, I'm sorry. Um, oh, wait, hold on. Sorry, I skipped a part. Okay. The complaint accused members of the board of attempting to investigate whether his church held pro life beliefs, which the lawsuit described as an, quote, invasive attempt to terminate the plaintiff's employment, end quote. After the plaintiff filed a formal complaint in October 2021, Mitchell alleged that Hagen, quote, began disproportionately and excessively monitoring and micromanaging, end quote, him in retaliation for the complaint. In August 2022, Mitchell alleged that he was passed over for the position of interim CEO in favor of his white colleague, denying him a salary increase of $13,000. As CEO, Mitchell was the quote unquote second in command, and a quote unquote long-standing policy at the organization meant that he should have received the promotion according to the complaint. The plaintiff also has a southern accent and a quote unquote neurological condition. That's not funny, to laugh at his neurological condition, which causes him to stutter when stressed, which he claims subjected him to other forms of discrimination. During a November 2021 meeting, Mitchell claims that he was mocked for his accent and stutter. I don't know what this guy expected from Planned Parenthood when Margaret Sanger herself in the organizations, their whole inception was to reduce the numbers of people like him. And he gets in there, he wants to complain. He wants to complain about how he's being treated by Planned Parenthood. Well, when I did a whole 4-part video series on some of the stuff that was said by Planned Parenthood, stuff that was documented, with them saying that they wanted to eliminate people like him from growing up. And he thought that he was going to get into Planned Parenthood and it was just going to be totally different. You can't make this stuff up. Okay, let's scroll down a little bit. In another meeting in September 2022, a younger white subordinate of Mitchell's uh, presented a report on his behalf. CEO colleagues, the CEO's colleagues alleged that um, said the woman was a quote much better communicator end quote than him. Quote, these comments were in direct discriminatory reference to the symptoms of the plaintiff's disabling condition, the lawsuit reads. Mitchell also accused PPGNY staff, including Davis and Dean, of using quote unquote racial terms to refer to him, such as quote, angry, aggressive, and out of control. End quote. The complaint stated that each term, quote, plays into cruelty, racist stereotypes about Black African American men in the workplace and beyond, end quote. Man. Oh man, I swear you can't make this stuff up. You can't make it up, man. It is supposed to be a quote unquote black pastor. All right, let's get serious for a moment. Let's get serious. Serious on this. It's a black man being discriminated against by an institution that was started to try to reduce the numbers of black people. Let's get serious about this. This ain't no laughing matter. All right, another alleged incident of racial discrimination involving Dean occurred in February 2022, with Dean stating, quote, she was a loud black woman, end quote, in reference to PPGNY chief of equity and engagement. Excuse me, gotta get off, got it. Gotta get serious about this. Chief Equity and Engagement Officer Merle McGee. Quote, this lawsuit is meant to shine a light on the discriminatory and retaliatory employment practices that permeate the organization and bring justice to Mr. Mitchell for the unrelenting discriminatory practices he has and continues to endure, end quote, the lawsuit reads. In a statement published by the Daily News, Planned Parenthood spokeswoman Jacqueline Morero denied, quote, the spurious allegations made by a recent addition to our executive team, end quote. Quote, PPG&Y vehemently renounces any form of discrimination or retaliation. Our top priority for our team members is a safe, diverse, and equitable workplace that supports our mission to provide access to reproductive health for all, end quote, she stated. Especially for black people. Especially for black people. They want to make sure that black women are getting the quote unquote reproductive services that they need, especially when it comes to abortion. Now, I don't know if you guys remember that I can't remember who did this. I don't know if it was Project Veritas or whoever, but they had these recordings. Actually, you got to watch my 4-part series um, about the overturning of Roe versus Wade, where we reviewed the documentary of Ma'afa 21, which talks about the history of Planned Parenthood. And during that series, excuse me, or during that that documentary, there was a video call. Somebody had did some calls or whatever to various Planned Parenthood places and asked them, did they do things such as ultrasounds, birth control pills, or stuff like that? And everyone just said no, they don't provide those services. You know, and I think that there was even some women on there saying that they went into Planned Parenthood looking for those type of services, and instead of them actually saying, you know, hey, let's go ahead and get you the help that you need, you know, prenatal vitamins, stuff like that, they just say, oh well, you know, we can offer you, you know, an abortive service. And a lot of these women were not even looking to have abortions, but Planned Parenthood was pushing it anyway. Planned Parenthood of Greater New York did not immediately respond to the Christian Post's request for comment. Of course not. Allegations of racism against Planned Parenthood are not new, as Mitchell's lawsuit noted. In October 2022, Nicole Moore, Planned Parenthood's former director of multicultural brand engagement, filed a lawsuit claiming the organization had a quote unquote structural racism issue. Moore, who worked for Planned Parenthood from January 2020 to November 2021, alleged that quote racism was widespread at the organization, end quote. She accused the corporation of reprimanding her for, quote, raising her concerns about racial disparities in leadership, end quote, and holding Black employees to a, quote unquote, double standard regarding contract work, end quote. As CP reported, over 120 Black African leaders signed a letter asking Planned Parenthood President Alexis McGill Johnson to renounce the organization's founder, Margaret Sanger, and to address the impact of abortion on Black communities. Oh my goodness. Oh man. Black people, I love y'all. But boy, I swear, our community, y'all want to know why people don't take us seriously as a community? Y'all want to know why people don't take us serious as a community? These people who are Black went to go work for Planned Parenthood, and they want to renounce the founder of Planned Parenthood, Margaret Sanger, and say that, well, abortion has a disproportionate negative effect on the Black community. What do you thought you was going to do when you started working for Planned Parenthood? You thought you was going to go in there and just change the system, change the foundation of what it was built on? This is crazy. This is why our community is in the shape that it's in right now. I think that there are some cognitive dissonance, a lot of cognitive dissonance in our community. And I think this proves it right here. All right, let's continue. Quote, today we are saying empathetically and unequivocally that Planned Parenthood must confront its racist founding missions and practices. Too many Black lives here have been lost to abortion. All Black lives matter, end quote, the letter reads. Louisiana State Senator Katrina Jackson, Georgia State Representative Mac Jackson, and Michigan's Kent County Commissioner Monica Sparks, all Democrats, are just a few individuals who signed the letter. Republican signers, then Indiana Attorney General Curtis Hill and former Texas State Representative James White. In April 2021, Johnson published a New York Times op-ed addressing questions about Sanger's views on race and eugenics. In the op-ed, the Planned Parenthood president acknowledged Sanger's association with quote-unquote white supremacist groups and endorsed of Buck versus Bell, a Supreme Court decision permitting the sterilization of those deemed quote unquote unfit. Now to bring this back full circle, this Black pastor who says that he has a neurological condition which causes him to stutter when he's stressed. He's complaining that Planned Parenthood is being racist and discriminatory against him. And he thought that him being a Black pastor with a speech impediment was going to get him some type of special treatment from a place whose founder has been recorded to be associated with white supremacist groups. And the organization, and she also endorsed Buck versus Bell, which is a Supreme Court decision permitting the sterilization of those deemed unfit, i.e., people like him, black people with a speech impediment, people such as himself. He thought that he was going to end up being successful at an organization that wanted to eliminate people like him. Miss Cherry said, "My pastor said something profound a long time ago about the black community. I'm not going to repeat it on this chat, and I'm starting to see this if the black community don't straighten up." Who you talking about? Pastor Manning? Talking about Pastor Manning over there in Harlem, New York? I'm just playing around, sis. Okay, let's continue. Johnson promised that the organization would make, quote, Margaret Sanger less prominent in our present and future, end quote. However, she maintained that Planned Parenthood's founder remains an influential part of our history and will not be erased, end quote. Yeah, especially when people are receiving the Margaret Sanger Award. Are you kidding me? There are people who get Margaret Sanger's awards. And you think, man, please. Yeah, good luck with that. Good luck with erasing Margaret Sanger and separating her from Planned Parenthood. Mitchell's lawsuit attests to the organization's troubling past. Oh, you think? Quote, Planned Parenthood was founded by Margaret Sanger, who was an unabashed racist, eugenics believer, and KKK sympathizer, the legal file states. As late of April 2021, Planned Parenthood's leadership acknowledged that Sanger was coddled by the organization and protected despite her discriminatory animus, end quote. How did you not know that? How did you not know that? That's all I want to know. How was you, as a black person who wanted to go work for such an organization, did not know that? And they got video of this woman saying the stuff that she's saying. They got pictures of her in black and white. Come on. That's why there's a disconnect with our people. I'm sorry. I know I'm gonna be called coon, Uncle Tom, all of that stuff. Yeah, I'm gonna put my coon hat on right now. The coon hat is on right now. There's a problem in the black community. There's a serious problem with the way a lot of people in the black community think. All right. And this is the last part of this article. Quote, the reality is that Planned Parenthood continues to be run by people who are openly hostile to racial minorities, the disabled, older workers, and those who complain about discriminatory practices. That is the end of this article. I really don't know what these people expected. Did you know, again, and Brother Bill for Speed shared the links. Share the links to my videos of me covering this whole Planned Parenthood thing. He shared the links. All you guys got to do is just go and click these links. We discussed all of this. That's one of the links right there. Their inception was to reduce the number of people who were racial minorities, disabled, right? Those who wouldn't get old and then turn around and complain about discriminatory practices. That's what they were built on. And you thought that you was going to get into that organization and change what their foundation. Man, listen. Boy, look at here. What does the Bible say? Right? What does the Bible say? Do not be unequally yoked with unbelievers. For what fellowship does light have with darkness, or Christ with the devil? Right? You got to be set apart. And for whatever reason, there are some people think that they can toe the line of being Christian and being a part of the world. They think that they can get into certain organizations and change the way that they do things and change their foundation. As Christians, we've never been called to do that. We've been called to show the light of Christ to the world. That is what we've been commanded to do. We're not commanded to come in and try to change the culture. That's why this whole lawsuit crap is not going to work. They might give them a little bit of hush money just to shut them up. You know, maybe slide them about $100,000 and say, hey, we're going to give you this money. Go on about your business. Just be quiet. And they're going to continue to keep doing what they're doing because that's what they were built on. That was the foundation of the company since its inception. You know, it's madness. You know, that's why, that's why I say, especially with our community, the Black community, we've just been, I don't know what's going on with us. I really don't. I really don't. It's just sad. It's really sad at its core. Like, that's why I told y'all at the beginning of this video, this is a crazy article. Crazy. I mean, I don't know. I'm speechless, still speechless. Reading that again, speechless. You guys go ahead and hit that like button. Hit that like button, you guys. Listen, man, I'm about to get up out of here. Y'all heard the story. Y'all heard the article. Y'all heard what's going on. Let me know what y'all think in the comment section below. Do you think that this man has a valid point to file a lawsuit against Planned Parenthood for racial discrimination? Do you believe that no matter what, Planned Parenthood should give people an equal opportunity, or they should be an equal opportunity employer, no matter what their background is, or how they even started? Or do you happen to believe that, that when you're working for organizations that are built on racism, it was built on restricting the numbers of people like you, then what else can you expect from organizations that was built on racist practices and policies? What more can you expect? Whatever you guys think, let me know in the comment section below. And as always, like this video, rate it, share it, subscribe, hit that notifications bell so whenever I get ready to go live, you guys will be right there as soon as I hit the live button. And whenever I upload a video, you guys will be the first ones to see it. And with that, you guys have a blessed day, and I will see you guys next time, Lord willing.